at the bottom too. Good morning from the Monroe County Fair. We are T-minus 15 minutes and counting until the goat show. We've got the chores done. The entryway is swept. A lot of this is showmanship. They'll show the goats and have showmanship in there, but they're also just in their presentation, in the way that they keep things clean, their demeanor, all those things count. There's actually a prize for the 4-H club that does that best for each category of animal. It's really good for the kids.
There you go. We'll be bringing them in the ring. Watch for your help on ringside. They'll help you line them up in the ring.
Stand together for our final prize in the division.
Tough competition in the dairy world.
Yes.
Yeah, seriously. But that was a Nigerian that won?
Yeah, I think so.
That's actually...
That's a difference from the past years.
We've always complained that the Nigerians get short shrift because, they're a dairy breed, but they're sort of a hobby farm
And they're
breed as
short,
well.
and
Yeah.
They can also be a meat breed too.
Princess was grand champion last year, but the competition wasn't quite that intense.
No, it's good. The goat competition has grown this year.
I think the boys are a little disappointed not to go home with a trophy, though.
Yeah. They'll get over it.
Not only will they get over it, it's good for them, too.
Yes.
What's that? The collar's too small, you can loosen it. Galadriel doesn't want to come. Here the competition for the overall champion for meat goats, crossbred and boar purebred. Notice the big difference between the grain-fed, the boar, and our goat out there, white Russian, totally fed on forage.
Put your hands together for our yearly division here. I think for me, if there's one that just kind of comes out and goes right to the top in this division, it's a little closer for our reserve. Some differences in those two that I'm looking at between the one and second and the other class winner. But again, we'll kind of go out and select those. But I think our champion just again excels in the growth, fits that age division, a muscle package that we're looking for, with some extensions to the front too. I think a goat that just kind of handily moves itself up in this division. Again, when we get into that reserve, just a little preference for me, probably a little more growth than one over the other, a little more extension than one over the other. So I'll go out and shake the hand of your champion reserve for this yearly drive.
Congratulations to Dylan Witt.
What do you think?
I at least got a second.
So obviously we're doing something a little bit different with our goats than other people are, in that ours live entirely on forage. They're out in the woods, and therefore, because they don't have any grain, their growth rate is a little slower, but they are hardy and tough goats. They are able to carry a parasite load without chemical wormers. Again, we're trying to do something a little bit different. doesn't necessarily get recognized here, but it will get recognized in that our goats eat for free just off what the land provides. And that ultimately not only is good for goats, but pays dividends when it comes time to sell them for meat. So for the meat animals, I don't think we can compete because
We don't grain.
ultimately it works out better because our goats eat for free.
Yes.
They perform very well.
They're
Sales
just,
barn.
They're just not going to have the growth or the fat.
If you feed a goat grain, it's going to get fat. And if you raise more goats, they are going to have more width, but they get worms and they die out. If you don't feed them chemical wormers too, they die out on pasture. So it's a trade-off, and I understand it. They're not a show animal, and we're probably never going to perform
At the top.
for meat goats at the fair.
Not for show anymore. I do not necessarily see us showing goats in the future. And it's not because I don't like showing goats, it's that I refuse to do some of the practices that are incorporated into the growing out of the goats, making them fatter, bigger. I'm just not willing to do that to our goats.
We want our animals to be able to exhibit natural tendencies.
They're natural traits.
They should forage. They're a forage animal.
Yeah.
And you can breed for size, you can breed for meatiness, but within the limits that an animal is able to be healthy in that natural environment. Well, in my opinion, we still have the one redeeming thing, the one that I think is very good for the boys, which is showmanship.
Showmanship we could do. In fact, we don't need to do the breed classes. We could just do showmanship.
Showmanship is all about their presentation, their demeanor,
And their goat.
the way they handle their animal, their ability to answer questions.
Their knowledge, yes.
Really, in terms of doing this for the boys, that's what it's about. Their ability to make public presentations and to do a good job at that.
Yep.
Talking about. But this young lady, again, did all those things correct, getting the goat set up efficiently, the goat moves well, she presents it well, her feet and legs are set up, she presents herself well. Again, from a showmanship standpoint, I'm looking at how the goat's presented, how the showman's presented, and then some knowledge once in a while.
In the ring now is your beginner showman on deck.
Tough competition.
I thought I deserved the first.
I thought you did very well, actually. Listen for a moment. So I thought what you did well was you got the goat set up very quickly, and you were quite efficient. And I thought you did pretty well out there. I would thought you'd get a higher ribbon, but you have to start somewhere, right? Whose are these? All right, you're the only one to show Princess?
Yes. This is black.
Just hold out one at a time.
I'll go. Please.
That's it for me. Rosemary and the boys are going to stay, do some rides, and work a shift at the food stand. But harvests continue apace back at the farm, so I have to get back. I just want to walk through the exhibit hall and see some results on my way out. The boys really like their Legos, and it looks like Clement's windmill did pretty well. Photography was pretty stiff competition-wise. It's Clement's picture of Hildy. And that's his picture up there too of the rainbow and Milo. And this one belongs to Cletus. Well, this is a really exciting result for Cletus. Special Merit, the highest award there for his bug collection. He worked hard to gather these. Another special merit for Clement. Everybody gets to contribute in the garlic field, and everybody gets to choose some good bulbs. Looks like Cyprian, who's growing summer yellow straight neck summer squash for us, did well. There's a first place for his summer squash. Lots of good results for Rosemary. There are her potatoes, there are her beans, there are her carrots, and her cucumbers. The garden box. Every year Rosemary and I compete for the best garden box. Some tough competition this year. Neither of us was first, but here we go. Rosemary has third place, and I guess I lose. My kale's looking sort of wilty. I have fourth place. Oh well, there's always next year. That's it. I have to get home, harvest some garlic, keep things under control on the farm. This is the Monroe County Fair, and the boys are having fun. They got to show their goats. We will come back and clean up tomorrow, take it all down, and another work week coming up. Have a great weekend, everybody. God bless.